Thank you very much, Mrs. Davis, for sharing this encouraging information. Your numbers were not very comforting either, but your efforts and all of our efforts here and results keep us hopeful. So I really like the title itself of the presentation because as I've heard in a refugee camp a few years ago by displaced populations, whatever you do for us without us, you're actually doing against us. So we really, really need to listen to the youth and include them like we were asked this morning by our two champions. So thank you again for our two amazing speakers. And let's all be part of the magic glue to help our youth thrive, and let's keep winning. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much. So we'll go right into our next session. It is an honor to welcome Gloria Kabiria, who is the Youth and Adolescent Development and Participation Lead for UNICEF East and South Africa Regional Office. Please give her a very warm applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, but not so great to be between you and your lunch. So for the benefit of time, we will do our best to make sure that we are on time and you get to your lunch in time. Our session today is on empowering girls, nurturing social and financial skills for a promising future. You may ask, why girls? Why not girls and boys? We know what SDG 5 is all about. Girls are likely to be left behind because of various things: social norms, family financial situations, biology, so many things that would affect an adolescent girl, limiting her chances to thrive and achieve her full potential. So today we have an amazing panel of people who've been doing great things to address barriers, to empower girls, and to ensure that they reach their full potential, influence their communities, bring change in their lives and the lives of their communities and their countries. To start with, it's not functioning. I'll invite panelists. For the benefit of time, I'll just dive right in because we don't have so much time. Our first speaker is Christina. Hi. Christina works for development. She's the development director for Girl Rising. She works with using the power of storytelling to change the way the world values girls. So far, they've reached over 10,000 girls, 200,000 educators, and 7,000 parents and caregivers. Their target population is low-income communities living below the poverty line. Outcomes so far has been empowerment of students by fostering voice, agency, confidence, and positive gender attitudes, and equipping education to establish an environment of empowerment, equity, and aspiration. Towards the financial education program, in 2022, they developed the financial education curriculum with Aflatun International, and in 2023, are implementing this in Mexico and Ghana. Welcome, Christina. Our second panelist is Rizwana Akhtar, who's the General Manager for Program Sahel. Perfect, thank you. Rizwana works with children, youth, and adults coming from semi-urban and rural areas with a special focus on creating a protective environment for children free from all forms of violence, and especially child sexual abuse and exploitation. So far, they've been able to empower female teachers to be able to provide the program better, enhance skills among girls and mothers, elevated recognition and respect for the female gender, and improved communication and confidence. Towards the financial education program, they've been able to develop a CD, which is a series of Aflatun curriculum for ages 6 to 14, contextualized and translation of the Aflatun Plus curriculum, and government collaboration. Welcome, Rizwana. Next is Amidou Barry, project coordinator for Kamide Gap. He told me how to say that, but I can't seem to remember how to say it properly in French. Kamide Gap. And his mission is to promote education and training for children and young people without discrimination. So far, they've had 15 local organizations trained in SFE. They've had 34,355 students and about 764 trainers. Their target population is underprivileged groups, particularly children and young people and women. As you can see, there's been a lot of outcomes, and they've done enough work in the financial education program. Welcome, Hamidou. Our next panelist is Majid Naveed, who's the founder and chairman of Amal. Amal works around inspiration of children to empower themselves socially and financially so that they can be agents of change and improvement in their communities. They've reached about 20,000 students, 400 trained facilitators, and 30 contextualized books and manuals. Their target population is often 20% of students and young people looking for work in the country. Welcome, Amal. Last but not least is Loveness Boer, who's a program manager for Macro. Macro aims to transform lives of Malawians through provision of high-quality HIV and AIDS and other health-related services. So far, they've reached about 1,500 adolescents, 30 educators, and 950 parents or caregivers. Their target population is exploited adolescent girls and young women. Welcome, Loveness. So to take us through this session, we are going to go through a few questions. We'll hear from them, their rich experience, their strong field work, what they've done that has led to the success, what are some of the challenges that they've experienced, and if time allows, you could get to ask them questions. However, if time does not allow, through the app, you could post questions there, direct them to the specific panelist, either their organization or by their name, and we'll make sure that by the end of day 3, all these questions have been answered. So, the first question goes to you, Christina. Why is financial education important, and particularly for girls?
Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you to our fantastic audience here today. It's an honor to be here to share our work with an amazing group of change makers and leaders from all around the world. Let me start by saying that Girl Rising's mission is to use the power of storytelling to change the way the world values girls and their education. Since the beginning, our focus has been to build life skills in girls and adolescents to enable them to use their voice, raise their voice, to talk and discuss their aspirations, dreams, and what they want to become in the future. Keeping in mind that girls, very likely and in different contexts, are pulled away from school because of different harmful gender stereotypes that unfortunately are very enrooted and prevalent in different parts of the world. So the big question, why financial education, particularly for girls? Currently, 130 million girls are out of school. This is unbelievable, right? And education is a powerful tool to tackle poverty, to tackle inequalities, to tackle gender inequalities, and more specifically, financial education. When we have financial education, financial knowledge, skills, confidence, we are able to empower girls. Just to give you an example, different studies show that one additional year of school can increase between 10 to 20% of women's savings. So imagine what can happen if we educate financially girls all around the world. And because all of this, we decided 2 years ago to partner with Platoon International to design and implement a financial education and life skills curriculum that we are currently implementing across different schools in Mexico and Ghana. as of July 2023, around 5,000 girls in Ghana and Mexico have received and have been part of this financial educational curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Remember, the title of this session is Empowering Girls. One of the ways of empowering is enhancing skills. She's highlighted a number of skills that they are enhancing in girls to ensure that they are empowered. Throughout this session, try remember what empowerment is. When do we say someone is empowered? We are trying to unpack empowerment of girls. The next question goes to you, Rizwana. What is the significance of social and financial skills for the most marginalized group of the population, especially in the context of your work?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Gloria. And thank you, Aflatun, for it's an honor for me to be here and present the importance of SFE in the context of Pakistan. So SFE plays a pivotal role in empowering the most marginalized girls, teachers, and mothers in semi-urban and rural areas of Sindh and Balochistan. The regions are deeply rooted in ancient civilization with characterized conservative and male-dominated society. Separate schools for boys and girls are the norms in our area, with strict limitations to the girls to interact even with their male cousins. So SFE has had a profound impact on the educational landscape through empowering the teachers with interactive learning methodologies. This is not only educational skills, but also now teachers became more approachable, sportive, and a child-friendly environment has been created in the schools. To have an effective implementation of the SFE activities, it is a need to engage other stakeholders as well, like parents, communities. In our case, one of the case that we take to the girls to the banks and different vocational centers, so the larger population help us to get permission from the parents. In the beginning, girls were hesitant to save money at schools. But when teachers gave them confidence and said that the money will be yours and utilized by them, so the girls started savings, and they spent their savings to the enterprise development, like small enterprises at the school, like stationery shops, and to this, the social enterprises, like they are helping the deserving students to pay school fees. Health and hygiene sessions also part of the Aflatun Plus curriculum. So teachers observed that they are now more conscious about their hygiene while taking food and self-hygiene as well. Participation in activities, in club activities, they have clubs in their schools, girls clubs. So in the activities like experience sharing workshops and enterprise development competition along with the boys. So a sense of competition among boys and girls have been created, and this gives girls more confidence and trust in themselves. So ultimately the SFE equips the girls with not only the social financial skills, but also created economic opportunities. And they also give them the life skills, and they not only know about their rights, but they talk about their rights. So they are also addressing gender disparities, and they are challenging now traditional norms such as girls' education, child-girl marriages, and honor killing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rizwana. And it's really great to see that SFE contributes to addressing social norms, society norms that limit girls to thrive, and also creating an enabling environment makes it an easier place for adolescent girls and young women to achieve their full potential. Our next question is for you, Hamidou, and Hamidou will answer the question in French. So for those of us who require translation, this might be helpful. What did you do to facilitate the creation of rural women's groups?
Okay, thank you for the questions. Now I will answer in French. Excusez-moi pour ma voix, je l'ai perdue dans l'avion. Donc, concernant ta question qui concerne la création des groupes. Pour créer nos groupes, nous avons 3 étapes à franchir. La première des étapes, c'est le recensement des ménages. Nous partons dans les villages et au cours de ces recensements, nous rentrons dans chaque famille pour voir s'il y a des potentialités qui existent déjà sur lesquelles nous pouvons nous baser pour former nos groupes de femmes. En plus de cela, il y a une prospection. Lors de cette prospection, c'est tous les villages en quelque sorte qui est impliqué. Les leaders religieux, les leaders culturels, les administrations aussi publiques et également les femmes. C'est pour savoir comment est-ce que notre programme peut aider ces différents groupes de femmes-là qui existent dans ces différents villages ou qui n'existent pas. La troisième phase, c'est la phase de communication, qui est très très importante. Cette phase nous permet en fait de savoir comment est-ce qu'on pourra apporter des bénéfices à travers nos programmes à ces jeunes dames-là. Donc ce sont des phases qui sont très très importantes et sans elles, c'est impossible pour nous de réussir nos programmes. La communication, ça implique tout le monde, que ce soit les femmes, que ce soit également les chefs de famille, les chefs de village, parce que le Mali, c'est un pays assez culturel. C'est très compliqué souvent d'accéder aux femmes sans pour autant échanger d'abord avec les leaders communautaires. Il y a beaucoup de difficultés en ce sens-là. Donc c'est comme ça que nous faisons pour construire nos groupes de femmes dans les milieux informels. Maintenant, ce qui concerne les milieux formels, c'est-à-dire dans le système éducatif, c'est très simple. Nous rentrons en contact directement avec les écoles qui nous ouvrent les portes facilement parce que l'éducation financière, c'est la base. Et à travers ça, nous pouvons recruter des jeunes filles qui peuvent bénéficier de nos différents programmes. Et généralement, avec les écoles, c'est beaucoup plus facile et beaucoup plus pratique. Merci.
Thank you so much, Hamidou. I noticed that translation is not available for everyone, but what Hamidou shared is the strategies he's employed to create rural women's groups. As we know, one of the key ways to meet the SDG 5 is to work with women-led and young girls-led organizations and to work with grassroots organizations. So he spoke to what it is that he did that helped him. What did he do differently? How did he go about setting up these groups? And how did he go about partnering with women in the local communities? Thank you, Hamidou.
Yeah, thank you, Gloria. Just to let everyone know, don't do this in a rush, but if you, during the break or during the session, there are translation devices in the back if you would like that.
Thank you. And the next question is for you, Loveness. What major activities are you currently involved in regarding social and financial education? Please let us focus on the component of health.
All right, thank you for the question. The major activities which Malawi AIDS and Resource Organization, MACRO, do in the fight against HIV and AIDS in complementing the government effort in Malawi is the provision of HIV and SRH services to girls in the safe space. This is done to ensure that girls are able to access the services free and again are healthy. So the services are carried in collaboration with the government providers to their safe space. And again, MACRO also conducts sessions and focused group discussions to these girls in their safe space, fostering the effective communication and again, teamwork. This is to ensure that girls are free and openly to express themselves. So they use a book called Dreams Toolkit, and again, they also use Aflatun curricula. And again, they, Macro also encourage and support these girls on savings and spending. So they are put in club where they are encouraged to conduct village savings and loans. Through that, they are able to borrow money from lending institutions. And with that money, they are able to conduct individual business. Some, they do conduct group business. And again, others, they also engage themselves into farming. So Macro comes in and support them to identify a better market for them to after harvesting their yields, to sell their harvest. And again, they support them carrying their yields to the market. And again, through that, girls are economically empowered and they are free, they are able to make effective decisions regarding their health. Macro also engage local artisans within the catchment area to come to these clubs and teach these girls different skills. So girls are able to learn different skills. Sometimes they are also attached to these local artisans. And some of these skills, tailoring, welding, cosmetology, and through all these activities, girls are empowered economically and they are able to make decisions regarding their health and free from HIV. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Loveness. So we've heard about the importance of SFE, the activities our great panelists are doing or carrying out in their respective countries. Now we'll move to what challenges are you experiencing in your work? The first question is for you, Hamidou. What are the challenging factors in implementing your program successfully?
Thank you. Je vais continuer toujours en français parce que c'est la langue dans laquelle je me sens un peu à l'aise. Concernant les défis, comme on le dit, il n'y a jamais de rivière tranquille, quoi. À chaque fois, on est confronté à des difficultés. Et la première difficulté que nous connaissons au Mali, tout le monde le sait ici dans cette salle, depuis 2012, on est confronté à un défi sécuritaire. Et ce n'est pas sur le Mali, c'est tout le Sahel. Donc le premier défi, c'est le défi sécuritaire. Le second défi, c'est quoi? C'est la lourdeur administrative. Quand il faut valider un manuel Aflatine, par exemple, qui a été contextualisé, et l'atelier de validation a eu lieu en mois de mars, mais c'est seulement en mois de décembre que le manuel est validé. Donc ça pénalise en quelque sorte le processus de l'apprentissage. Ça, c'est un défi majeur qui a été relevé. La seconde défi, c'est quoi? Le second défi, c'est quoi? Ça concerne en fait les périodes. Quand on doit mettre un programme en œuvre, par exemple pendant les mois de l'hivernage, pour ceux qui connaissent un peu la région, c'est très compliqué. Parce que pendant ces périodes, les femmes même sont obligées de partir au champ, travailler au même titre que les hommes, dans les champs. Et après la période hivernale, il y a la période de récolte. Donc c'est comme si nous voyons le mois de juin, juillet, août, septembre, on ne peut pas travailler avec les femmes. En plus, novembre, déjà c'est la récolte. La récolte également, les femmes sont impliquées dedans. Donc ça aussi c'est un défi également. En plus de cela, il y a aussi la diversité culturelle. Dans certaines cultures maliennes, les femmes ne sont pas habilitées à faire certaines pratiques. À s'approcher d'autres hommes, par exemple comme nos facilitateurs, c'est très compliqué. Donc ça aussi c'est un défi. L'autre défi c'est quoi? C'est aussi l'engagement de certains facilitateurs. Parce que nous les faisons en termes de bénévolat. On aime l'éducation financière, on vient, on apprend d'autres personnes à être éduquées financièrement. Mais certains facilitateurs viennent pour recevoir quelque chose en retour. Certes, s'il y a les moyens, c'est bien, mais s'il n'y a pas les moyens, il faut les faire avec dévouement. Ça aussi, c'est un problème. Il y a aussi un problème qui est lié également à l'abandon, n'est-ce pas, de ces groupes-là par certains de nos femmes. Parce qu'ils ont des contraintes sociales qui ne permettent plus de suivre le programme. Donc, comme on le dit, il n'y a jamais d'omelette sans casser les œufs. Et on est obligé de faire avec. Et nous sommes très fiers d'avoir pu, de notre manière, relever ces différents défis. Et ces défis ont été relevés grâce aux femmes qui sont vraiment courageuses. C'est surtout elles qui nous ont poussés vraiment à aller de l'avant. À chaque fois qu'on pense à fléchir, et quand on se met en tête qu'il y a ces dames-là qui sont là et qui ne comptent que sur nous pour être éduquées financièrement et socialement, on ne peut qu'aller de l'avant. Merci.
Thank you so much, Hamidou. So he grouped the challenges into two. One was institutional, which is cumbersome administrative procedures, lack of support either from financial institutions, lack of commitment from certain teachers and school administrators, and overload of the national program. And the second one was on material level, the impossibility of organizing certain sessions because of the culture, keeping young people in clubs during certain periods like the rainy season, and lack of funds for expansion. Thank you again, Amidou. The next question is for you, Rizwana. What are some of the biggest challenges you face while implementing your program?
Thank you, Gloria. In 2021, when we initiated Aflateen Plus curriculum, the activities were limited due to COVID-19. And the areas of Sindh and Balochistan are very susceptible to natural disasters, especially floods. In 2022, floods severely damaged the infrastructure of schools, and the water remained in the fields for many months. So teachers faced challenges to even complete their regular syllabus in schools. The annual exams were shifted from March to May, and Sahel also started its activities in September instead of initially planned for July, and this was very challenging for us, and this requires the very dedicated and diligent support from both the Sahel staff and the teachers. So when we introduced Aflateen Plus curriculum with the teachers, it gained high praise from the teachers and the girls and the mothers as well. After the training, teachers training, the teachers were very enthusiastic to replicate the curriculum with the girls, because they find that the activities are helping them to increase their attendance in the schools, which was very low during the days of floods. So, and the mothers, when we hold community dialogues with the mothers, and mothers gave permission to their girls to take part in the activities, because they want their girls to learn about economic empowerment, because the days are very crucial for them as financially. So when the replication was done with the students, with the girls were very interested in these activities, and they find that it helped them to overcome trauma of the COVID-19 restrictions and the setbacks of the floods. So girls, these sessions were highly, girls also, you can say that they use their entrepreneurial skills from the beginning of the project, and they start learning about social financial education and start their small enterprises. So whenever they feel bored, they ask their teachers to do Aflateen Plus activities, because they felt these are very energizing for themselves. So you can say that in the disaster and in very crucial days, SFE created rooms for improvement to the girls and mothers as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rizwana. And what about your organization, Majid? What has been working well for you, and what have been the challenges?
Hello, everyone. I want to share the story of our country, and you listen to this story and find how girls are amazing. The story was formed during the protest of women life freedom in our country last year. Maybe some of you knows this news. The protest extended to the school. All the students don't like to go to classes, and they want to sit in the schoolyard and protest. And they were so angry, anxious, and traumatized. they were scared, and the situation was so complicated and confusing for teachers, school administrators, and families. But Aflatun classes was a good opportunity for the students because they can speak, and they can speak about their problem and their feeling about what's happening. And if they want to protest, they can speak to each other. They speak about their problem, and they want to protest against what's happened in the country, especially for women. After it, they reach to a common idea that protest only is not sufficient. If we want to do some things for a long time, we have to do some things more and something sustainable. Not only protest at the yard, and after it we have some conflict with each other also. So they are starting to speak and find a solution, how they can do something. During that time, a song named For Freedom went viral. And this is inspired for them. They find their name for club, their club name For Freedom. And they start brainstorming about what we can do for women freedom. They decided they have many ideas. Some of them like to publish a magazine about women's rights. Some of them like to install a political party in a school. And finally, they decided to do some things for freedom, a woman in prison. But how it can possible? How they can work in this matter? Some of girls want to free a woman in prison, a woman politically in prison, but they found they cannot do some things like this. And if they want to do this, they have again protest and nothing will happen. They decided after to free a debt woman in prison. And they think it is very important because the financial problem for women is very important for their freedom and their rights. So they decided to make a one-day cafe event in the school and use their profit to raise fund to free that woman. 12 students in 11th grade divided their work. Some of them work in culinary, some of them works in financial issues, and some of them goes to an organization that works for these women and discuss with them. And finally, they earn 690 euros with their profit in that cafe, and now this woman is free.
Thank you, Majid. What do you attribute to the success of this coming together of the girls, forming the solidarity group and helping their peers and other women?
I think the role of facilitator is very important and is vital. And three things for facilitator I think is crucial. First is trust, making trust. Any collaborating works needs trust. The infrastructure of the collaborative work is built on the trust. And the second is the facilitator patient. Listen to all opinion, all idea, impossible ideas, and they are speaking about it. They are discussing about this. It's not so easy. And the third things for facilitator is, in my opinion, is the facilitator is not the leader of the project of the student or the project manager. Don't take over their journey of learning. They have to make mistake and then they find their way. This is the procedure of the learning.
Thank you very much, Majid. And I really like the fact that he brought up the issue of facilitators. Co-creating with adolescent girls and young people helps them own the project, helps them design it their way, by them, for them, and leads to the success, scalability, and sustainability. It is also good to see that when adolescent girls are empowered, they can be agents of change in their community. They know what problems are facing them, they know how to act upon them, they just need the support and an enabling environment to do it. Our last question is for you, Christina. How do you measure the success of your program across different beneficiaries?
Of course. We created a MEL framework in partnership with George Washington University to measure the impacts in our different stakeholders, students, adolescent girls, educators, family members, caregivers, and implementing partners. We firmly believe that to advance girls' education and financial literacy, we need the support of all audiences, not only girls. We designed and implemented different tools as part of the MEL framework, such as baseline surveys, inline surveys, in-depth interviews with partners and educators, focus groups with students. Additionally, we designed expected outcomes for each of these audiences. I'm going to mention a few. Voice, agency, and gender equitable attitudes. And as part of the research conducted by George Washington University, data show that girls who participated in the financial education and life skills program in Ghana and Mexico demonstrated higher financial literacy and more positive attitudes toward finances, saving, and budgeting. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina. And I'm sure most of you here are in life skills education. You know, it's very difficult to attribute change to the work that you're doing. It's so difficult to measure how knowledge has shifted because of what you've done, how a girl has been empowered because of financial literacy. And the example that Christina has given really shows you have multiple ways of checking, of measuring, and of ensuring that what we're doing is impacting positively, and where there's no positive change, why is it? Remember, change is over time. We could have a program today and see that change 15 years later. I worked for UNICEF in Bangladesh over 10 years ago, and we had a program on girls' empowerment and changing a few laws. The law only got changed last year, but I felt that I contributed to the change of that law, even though that impact was felt 10 years later. So we remember to ensure our programs are measurable and impactful. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you to our panelists. And now that they've been such great superstars in time management, you have 7 minutes to ask them any questions that are burning, that really need to be addressed for now. If not, I will ask them questions myself. So, over to you.
If you raise your hand, I can pass you the mic. So many hands.
There.
Yeah.
Merci. Je vais poser ma question en français pour Hamidou. Vous avez parlé tout à l'heure d'un manuel Aflatine contextualisé et c'était difficile de le valider. Vous avez validé de la part de qui et est-ce que vous collaborez avec le ministère de l'Éducation et comment vous avez réalisé ce manuel-là de référence? Merci.
Ok, merci madame pour votre question. En fait, le manuel Aflatine, à la base, c'est le manuel de notre partenaire, Aflatune International. Donc, c'est un programme destiné aux jeunes âgés entre 14 et 18 ans à peu près. Donc, ce manuel a été validé par le ministère de l'Éducation malienne. Parce que sans la validation du ministère, on ne peut pas utiliser les manuels dans les différentes classes que nous visons. Donc, ça a été validé par le ministère. Nous collaborons avec plusieurs autres départements ministériels. Il y a le ministère de l'Emploi et de la Jeunesse, il y a le ministère de l'Économie et des Finances également, il y a le ministère de la Culture. Donc tous ces départements ministériels-là ont participé à l'atelier de contextualisation et de validation. Mais il suffisait seulement que le ministère de l'Éducation malien puisse apposer sa signature formelle sur le document de validation pour qu'on puisse progresser dans notre programme. Donc c'est ce qui a mis un peu trop de temps. Je comprends un peu parce qu'il y a beaucoup de choses à faire, mais souvent il faut aller un peu plus rapidement pour ne pas pénaliser les programmes. C'est bon? Après? Ok, merci.
Any other?
And we also encourage you to use the network app if you would like to ask your questions there.
I'll just ask one last. Sure.
So this question is for Christina. You mentioned that Girl Rising uses storytelling to inspire change, so I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about that.
Thank you for your question. So actually, we started as a documentary named Girl Rising that follows the lives of 9 girls and the challenges that they face when trying to access education. So the work that we do is based completely on storytelling. And for this specific financial education program that we are implementing in Ghana and Mexico, we created short films for each country with Dania from Mexico and her journey in creating a small business. And then in Ghana, we created a short film, Juliana and her journey trying to access education and achieve her dreams and aspirations. So, and we're using those 2 films, incorporating those 2 films as part of that curriculum. We firmly believe that if we use storytelling by and for the girls are gonna be identified, feel connected to the messaging, to what we're trying to convey. Yes, hope that answered your question.
Thank you for the question. I have a question for Rizwana, Majid, and Lavnas. What has been your major collaborating partner or partners that have helped you achieve the results that you've achieved? Who have you worked with closely? Who have you partnered with closely? Lavnas, Rizwana, and Hamidou. No, Majid.
May I start? Okay, thank you. You know that for the greater impact of SFE activities, we have to have collaboration with as many as stakeholders as we can. So we are working with education departments, both for Sindh and Balochistan, and they are very sportive, and they themselves monitor the progress of the teachers, And the great achievement of Sahil is that we trained the provincial institutes of teachers education in both the provinces. So we are working with government, and it's our great achievement. Thank you.
Hamidu,
Can you,
who have you partnered with that has led to the success of your program?
Ok. Dans le cadre de notre programme, nous collaborons avec plusieurs partenaires techniques et financiers. Et il y a les différents départements ministériels, à savoir le ministère de l'Éducation nationale, le ministère de l'Entrepreneuriat national et de la formation professionnelle, le ministère de la Jeunesse, des Sports et des Instructions civiles. Il y a aussi le ministère de l'Éducation et le ministère des Finances. Il y a également le ministère de la Promotion féminine et des enfants. Donc ce sont ces départements ministériels-là qui nous épaulent. On a aussi des associations, des ONG locales qui nous aident dans notre programme. Merci.
Thank you. So we see government partnerships, community, international organizations, and financial institutions have been key in the partnerships. Loveness?
All right, thank you for the question. Macro collaborate with government in service provision. So it used providers from the nearest hybrid facility to carry services to the safe space where girls are. Macro also collaborate with the social fair, gender office, again, and police, because there are also issues related to GBV, which requires police to take charge. So all these sectors, Macro collaborate with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you very much for answering and bringing the light to some of the work that you do. Remember, the topic was empowerment, and that is a word that is often used but does not mean so much to everyone. So we always need to remember what empowerment is, and in this context, if a girl attains knowledge, skills, ability to change her reality, and uses those tools to grow, making her own choices, she can negotiate. She can say yes, she can say no to things that she would really like to, is gathering assets to build herself, her community, her family, her country, and participating in decision-making processes, then that girl is empowered. Our first moderator, who was a teenager or a young person among 17 others, was given voice, was given agency, was given space and an audience, and she's empowered because we could hear her, we could see her, we could listen to her, and she's able to make change to herself as an individual and her community. So let's remember, when we empower girls, we equip them with skills, assets, space, and everything that would make her feel fulfilled, thrive, and become an agent of change like the ones that Amal worked with. Thank you, everyone. Before we close this session, there was a contest or call for posters from different organizations that are working with young people around financial and social skills education. A number of organizations put together their presentations, and a jury selected a winner based on our criteria. For this, we have a winner, and we have Joanna Kellerman, who's the Aflatun board member chair, to present this award to one of the organizations that presented their poster and won, which is Amal. Thank you and welcome. Thank you, Joanna. As part of this session, and in the spirit of empowering adolescent girls and young women, and ensuring that we walk the talk, we have a brief declaration that we would like for us all to hear, adopt, and live by. All girls, regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, or socioeconomic background has the same right to education as boys. Socially and financially empowered girls can make informed choices and thrive within their communities and beyond. Education should start at an early age, covering all relevant stakeholders, including one's family, community, and nations. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.